when I filed bankruptcy, I didn't have a job. So I had a son in kindergarten at the time. And, I started going to have lunch with my son at kindergarten, and I got to know his teacher a little bit more. She found out that I was pretty handy, and that she asked me to build a reading loft in her kindergarten class. And so I did that. And then the principal found out I was heading. They wanted me to help them build a playground, and I did that. And then I was asked to help with building the Tinkerbell playground, which is a community-built playground at Pinkerton Park, and it was a huge undertaking. And then one day there was an opening in the school board. Someone left, and I was reading a newspaper, and I saw that, and I kind of felt like that was kind of a message from God, and said, you need to do this. So and the message was, you probably won't be a very good den mother, and so you need to use your skills where they're best. And I had despite of a bankruptcy, I had a pretty good business background, and so I decided to put my name in the hat to run for the school board. Now, that was because there was vacancy. The existing school board appointed the replacement until the next election. So I put my name in. There were 4 or 5 other people that put their name in, and I didn't get it, and it made me really mad because I'm very competitive on top of everything else. So when the election came around, I put my name in, ran for election, and won the election. And I ended up spending 13 years on the school board and 11 as the chairman of the school board. And I was also on the Tennessee School Boards Association and was the treasurer and vice president-elect. And I didn't get to be president because I decided to run for mayor before I became president of the Tennessee School Boards Association.
And then you were mayor of Franklin for how long?
Well, for 3.5 years, so not as long as I thought. I was planning on being mayor for a long time, and I was not happy with what was going on in the city, and a bunch of business leaders got together and said, we want to have somebody run for mayor, a business person run for mayor, and everybody's looking around and said, well, who could we get? And then somebody said, well, we need, maybe Schroer can do it because he's the only one who's run for political office and been elected. And had some name recognition. And the school board's budget at the time was actually bigger than the city's budget, so I was used to running an organization. So after talking to my wife quite a bit, we decided to run for mayor, and that was hard. Campaigning's tough, and it was a kind of a bitter election, and I hate that, but it was, but we beat an incumbent mayor. 2-1, and which was kind of surprising for a lot of people, and we took over that. I'll take a quick aside. I had a Bob Corker, Senator Corker, called me up right after the election, and I'd never met Senator Corker before. It was nice of him to call, and he said, "We passed, he'd call me and I'd call him. We'd miss, and finally we connected later in the afternoon. This is the day after election. He goes, John, this is Senator Corker, Bob Corker. I said, well, hey, how you doing? He said, I've had like 10 or 15 calls today from people that have asked me about the election in Franklin. From the outside looking in, Franklin's doing great, everything's good, and there's an incumbent mayor, and, it's one of the fastest growing cities, and it's got businesses coming in, and all of a sudden, he said, and then somebody who nobody's ever heard of, you ran against an incumbent mayor who a lot of people heard of, and you won 2-1. And he goes, who are you?
That's great.
And so that's kind of the start of my kind of elected political career.